Good morning, everyone. We will begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama for protection and the permission to participate today in the divine plan of constructing paradise on this earth. Let us pray together the Amatsu-Norito prayer of heaven, followed by the Miroku prayer. Please stand. 高天原に神様ります。かむろぎかむろみのみこともちてすめみよやかむいざなぎのみことつくしのひもかのたちあなのおどのはぎはらにみそぎはらいたもときになりませるあらいどの神たちもろもろのまがことつみけがれをあらいたまえ清めたまえとまおすことのよしを天つかみ国つかみやおよろずの神たちともに雨の藤駒の耳振り立てて聞こしめせとかしこみもまおす弥勒おみかみ守りたまえ先あえたまえ弥勒おみかみ守りたまえ先あえたまえ教えみよや主の神守りたまえ先あえたまえ教えみよや主の神守りたまえ先あえたまえKum nagara tamachi haemase. Kum nagara tamachi haemase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great plan. Please be seated. We will now receive group Johrei.
Obrigado, mesmo.
Johrei is now concluded. We will now listen to a reading from Meishu-sama's teachings. Illness. How foolish it is to try to cure illness without really knowing the true spiritual cause. Illness is a cleansing action, a purification of one's spiritual body, one of God's wondrous blessings. Life comes from God. Only God can make it whole. Humans alone cannot create life, nor can they cure physical illness on their own. A human being consists of two things, spirit and body. Since the law of the spiritual preceding the physical is a universal law, the spirit is of primary importance, while the body is actually secondary. The spirit should be transparent and pure, as in its original state, but when toxins occur in the physical body, they are reflected on the spiritual body as clouds. These clouds or opaque spots on the spirit are the true cause of illness. Once these opaque spots are removed, illness is healed. This is the principle behind Johrei, transmitting divine light to clear away one's spiritual clouds. And it is true healing. The spiritual purification of clouds results in a physical purification of the toxins, which must be dissolved and eliminated. This process is the physical body, this process in the physical body accompanied by discomfort and pain is called illness. But illness is only a symptom appearing on the surface, and the true cause is inside the spiritual clouds.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining the Miroku Association headquarters morning service. And also for directing your prayers along with us for world peace. This morning, I want to share with you the faith experience of Fabio Ken Bo Wang. He's from the Moema, São Paulo. Fabio is 28 years old and has been a Johrei member for 14 years. His two brothers are also members, and he received the sacred focal point of Hikari to channel Johrei to one of them, who at that time was 17 years old and diagnosed with leukemia. Fabio's routine was to work and take care of his brother, who needed to receive as much Johrei as possible. Consequently, he had little time to give service at the Johrei Center. After a few months of medical treatment and receiving intensive Johrei, they were allowed to see his brother's health restored. Fabio worked in the event business in which he excelled, and little by little he ended up moving away from our practice of faith. 2011, to their surprise, his brother's illness returned, and Fabio recognized that he needed to resume his dedications in order to help him. This time, his brother's purification was more severe, to the point where doctors doubted possibilities of a recovery. The only chance was a bone marrow transplant. After several tests, it was discovered that Fabio was the only compatible donor. The recommended medical procedure was administered, and when his brother recovered, Fabio once again became inactive from church's activities. During this period, without dedicating himself, Fabio received advice from his brothers on the importance of our practice so one can develop a deeper and more sincere faith. They also shared with him their experiences in serving God at Meishu-sama. In January of 2019, To everyone's dismay, his brother's illness returned for the third time. If the chances of survival were small before, now they were almost none. However, this time Fabio made the decision to truly give himself in service to the dedications with the commitment not to weaken in our practice of faith. He dedicated himself intensely to the monthly services and the channeling of Johrei to his brother until, after 7 months, he once again recovered his health. After these great blessings received, Fabio did not waver this time. He remained firm in his dedications and in the attendance at services, with a heart filled with gratitude for the protection they all received. The onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, the events business sector was one of the most affected. As the Johrei Center was temporarily closed, Fabio did the broadcasts of the Johrei Center's monthly services and thus was allowed to keep his commitment. To his surprise and joy, gradually, instead of losing customers, he prospered even more than before the quarantine period. Currently, he has received so many projects for new events and partnerships that he will need to expand his team to meet the demands. Due to God and Meishu-sama's grace, his brother is doing very well. He continues in medical treatment while receiving daily Johrei and giving service at the Johrei Center. Weekly, Fabio channels at the center and keeps helping with the online broadcasting of the monthly services. He now commits himself to continue serving the divine work, seeking to become an increasingly effective instrument for the happiness of others. Thank you very much for attending this morning service, for listening to this faith experience. I wish you a most wonderful weekend. Thank you very much.
This brings to a conclusion our morning service. Thank you everyone for joining us, and we wish you a very blessed day.